Hey you guys, this is Jess with Sourceful Journey back with another video. So I wanted to do a quick video update of some of the words, phrases, and names I've noticed over the past week. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and just jump right in. So some of the words, names, and phrases that I've noticed over the past week are as follows. It would be the name Emma that keeps popping up. Also, something pertaining to the Cinderella story. I'm not quite sure what that's about, but if you too are seeing and witnessing various forms of this detail, whether it's in picture form or maybe in regards to wording, things of that nature, then this is for you as well. Also, the name and actually images of the late singer Aaliyah. I noticed that too. Not quite sure what that might be about, but if you two are witnessing it as well, this is definitely for you. Something in regards to one's grandmother who had passed away, or maybe anything dealing with a passed on grandfather, anyone who fits into that scope, if you will. From what I understand, they're kind of doing some damage, if you will, and part of it has a lot to do with what was taken from you, what was stolen from you. And they're doing this to the very individuals within your family that had ties to it. So just know that if this is something that is going on, you're going to soon hear about it. And they're going to continue to do it until those individuals fess up and give you what is rightfully yours. 144, as I said that. Also, I've been seeing a lot of details pertaining to a house for quite some time, well over a year, maybe close to, I would say about close to 2 years, about some type of house, some type of inheritance, again, some type of money that was left back to you from a passed on relative. I can't stress it enough. Whoever this may be for, I'm looking at my notes here, you guys. If they don't release it, they're not going to get the gratification that they were hoping for by holding it. It's going to be more detrimental by them holding it rather than them just simply giving it to you. They're going to actually suffer eternally in regards to this. When in actuality, this should have been your blessing, and they should not have interfered with taking it from the beginning. And sadly enough, if they continue down this trail, if you will, they're going to have to deal with the brunt of what's to come. Some other details that I've noticed as well is that this has a lot to do with someone's father. Could have been someone who may have passed on, or they may currently still be living. But there is a father figure that figures quite heavily into this equation as well. Surveillance. So there's heavy surveillance on this particular individual as well. And for some reason, there's this heavy influx of details pertaining to a fraudulent marriage. They just simply made a fraudulent claim that you were married to them, to put it plainly. And it's now coming out that it was false details. Okay. And what else? Oh, there was also something in regards to like a house or a deed that's out there. I keep getting this nudge about something pertaining to an attic. So I don't know if you know anything about this, but if this pertains to you, maybe someone needs to check the attic or the backyard. That was another one. It was the attic or the backyard. Also, just know that the feds know. So if there's been things going on in regards to people messing with your email accounts, individuals messing with your banking accounts, banking account or banking accounts, meaning If you have several and you notice something weird was going on with that as well. Also, like if someone may have attempted to file taxes with your information, maybe you got a notification that let you know that someone actually attempted to use your information to file taxes, and it was not yourself. So someone was trying to claim you on their taxes without your consent. This is for you, but just know the feds are aware of it and they've been watching every single thing. And sadly enough, this game is actually getting ready to come to a close. Not for you. It's not a sad thing for you, but it's more so a sad thing for them, for what's getting ready to come down the pike. Also, I've been seeing some details pertaining to a cousin having quite a bit of a part in this whole circus event, if you will. Also, something about a mother figure. So this could be anyone that's like maybe your mom, stepmom. I'm getting more so along the lines of like an aunt in this particular case. Oh, and not to mention, just know your ex is included with this equation as well. Again, I can't stress it enough as well. I keep seeing a lot of imagery as well as wording pertaining to the cartel having some ties to this whole nonsense, and they too are being watched under a microscope. It's sad. It's a sad situation for these individuals for even going to these great lengths to do this nonsense. And now it's kind of like you, in this case, you're like the walking karma. So in some way, you having all of this nonsense taking form around you has in some way pulled these individuals out of the woodworks. So now, not realizing that they were being watched and that more of them are just being added to the list as far as being watched by the alphabet boys, such as the feds. And now the reality of all of it is that they have an expansive list when you think about it when it comes to who they're looking to take down just because of this nonsense. It's kind of like that saying that one should leave well alone, well alone. Sadly enough, these individuals, these karmics chose not to, and now they got to deal with the brunt of what's to come thereafter. Oh, but there's more. Some other things I've noticed, just in general, if you have been noticing within your day-to-day, maybe a lot of sirens. If you're noticing an uptick in helicopter presence again, roses, whether it's the actual word or the actual flower itself. If you've been seeing anything pertaining to like dead birds. Also, moving trucks. Also, a lot of revving noise in regards to any cars within the area or motorcycles. Just like more so like noise campaigns, if you will. Does it ever get tiring for them? Inquiring minds just want to know. There's something else I wanted to discuss too, and I just thought about this. Could there be others within these organizations, these, as you would say, like the alphabet boys, if you will? Knowing that there's several different ones outside of the feds, but could there be individuals on the inside that do partake in this gang stalking nonsense? Could that be a possibility? I've been noticing an influx of more people talking about it, not only online, but again, as when I have those sessions, when I speak with some of the clients that I work with, I've been noticing that quite a bit. You can't help but notice the pattern. And if they are in some way tied to this nonsense when it comes to the notion of gang stalking, you have to wonder why. What's the point? So one thing I picked up on as well is the reality that a lot of these crooked officials that may be tied to the alphabet boys in some form or another. And again, if you understand when I say alphabet boys, that means it could be other departments, other groups other than just the feds. It really, there's been a huge failure when it comes to this whole gang stalking thing, is what I'm noticing too, because a lot of the people I've spoken to would say that it doesn't affect them as much as it did, whether it be months or a couple of years before when it all started for them. So again, you have to ask yourself, why would they go through the process of doing this nonsense if it's not having any type of effect on these individuals any further? What's the point? Why continue to waste the time and energy? And furthermore, if these individuals are actually starting to become more vigilant and they're recording you guys, right? They're taking pictures. They're actually flipping that camera and putting it right on you and blasting your photos, your videos all over the web. What's the point of doing this nonsense? Why go through all this energy? Are you truly, in fact, being paid with gift cards? Are you truly getting some type of under the table payment of sorts? Is it really worth it? Because now your cover's been blown and now your face is all plastered all over the web and for others to see, so they know if they see you, like, oh, that's one of those individuals. Now what? And sadly enough, these individuals are being watched as well, and they too are going to be going down the pike, if you will. In regards to the whole inheritance scenario, as well as those who are tied to the nonsense in regards to your story, do know that this is actually definitely going to hit the airwaves. That I know for a fact. Trust me when I tell you this. If you've been noticing that in any shape, form, or fashion on your end as well, just know this is for you. So it's going to definitely hit the papers. It's definitely going to be over the news. For sure on the news. And it's no one else's doing but their own. Also, I've been seeing a lot of detail pertaining to the ex possibly wanting to make a comeback in your life. If they do attempt this, it's up to you. I personally say that would be a huge hell no. Furthermore, something about someone's pet died, just know, if it happens to be any of those individuals that were once close with you, that you've severed ties with, and they may have had some dealings with all this that's going on right now, if they in fact lost a pet, chances are the reason for it is because the black magic is backfiring. It's go time. I don't know if I mentioned this to you also, but just know that chances are a past boss of yours may have some ties to this whole scenario as well. Yep, you heard me correctly. A past boss. Actually, believe it or not, they have ties to this entire fiasco as well. Just know, the beautiful thing about all of this, other than what you're going to obtain towards the end of it all, which is what was actually rightfully yours, just know that the karmics are dropping like flies, and they're dropping at a fast rate. People fail to realize that this is the year of Aquarius, and this is a huge year when it comes to that notion of, one, getting their karma. We're talking about anyone who may have done anything ill will towards individuals for no reason whatsoever. For the longest, they thought that they were out of the woodworks and failed to realize that what goes around comes around. Everything is infinite. Lil Wayne said it perfect. What goes around comes around like a hula hoop. And he did not lie about that. Yep, it's the truth. It's going around and coming back to them tenfold, if not more, and is moving at a faster rate. I'm not saying that we take delight in seeing these people go through their karma, but just like every single person on the face of this earth, including you and I, you have to go through those experiences, because that's what builds character. That's what it helps to mold you into the individual that you are today. People need to understand that. It kind of goes back to a video I made a while ago when I talked about, you know, that notion of being proud of your battle scars, because your battle scars is what made you who you are today. I'm trying to see if I possibly had forgotten anything else that I wanted to include in this video with you guys. So we talked about the ex, and someone's pet died. Sucks for them. And the fact that one of your past bosses is a part of the equation as well. All of that's going to be coming out pretty soon. Rest assured or not, it's going to happen. And that the karmas are truly dropping like flies. I want to close the video off with this. And hopefully those who may fit into this space when it comes to being on the receiving end of this karma that you are now starting to experience because of the ill dealings that you've done. Please do understand, this is not a jab at you. Every single person on the face of this earth had to go through serving or going through the karma that's being served towards them. No one can avoid it. It is truly unavoidable. Now, what you decide to do thereafter, 1, 2, 3, as I'm saying this, is completely up to you. If you should decide to continue to be a tyrant towards that particular individual, or continue to do things that you know are not of the light, such as, you know, being a bully or gang stalking or any forms of harassment for that matter, when it comes to someone who truly doesn't deserve it. You have to be careful with who you are doing it to, because of the fact that you don't know what type of spiritual ranking they hold. These meat suits are only for a temporary time. What truly matters, what trumps it all, is truly what's within, which is the spirit. Keep in mind also that these individuals, I'm talking about the good old 144. Again, you have to be careful, because some of us have certain callings in our life, whether it is to get messages out when it comes to doing tarot, whether it may be to do these videos, these motivational videos, whether it may be to pass a certain message along. And it doesn't even have to be motivation related, it could just be like a warning. Do you understand that we were put in place for a reason? And if you should in any way, shape, form, or fashion try to interfere with that and try to throw things off, you're signing a check that you will truly not be able to cash. I don't understand how people truly think that they can trump God, when in all actuality, as I mentioned in one of my previous videos, God was the one that created this game to begin with. How do you even think that's possible? How could anyone think that that could be a plausible thing? It blows my mind. In other words, do better. Really focus on trying to heal oneself on an emotional level. Because what you fail to realize is that you're operating out of your ego. We've all been there. In some cases, there are some people who are still going through it. For the most part, a lot of us who are taking this walk, we've kind of gotten out of that phase. We understand what drives the motion. We understand that we all hold dark and light. We understand that You know, no one's perfect. Even for some of us who are in this space, we understand that we can have our moments too. And furthermore, anything you try to send towards an individual, like on a spiritual level, like let's say you try to do some conjuring magic, right? Let's really talk about this. Do you understand that those very things that you're trying to send their way, the spirits know, they'll know who you're sending it to. See, they too will know. 1, 2, 3, I'm saying this again. They too will know whether that individual you're sending it to is one to avoid or not. And whew, if you do that, and they realize that you sent them this way for something that they cannot touch because of what they're called to do in this lifetime, when they return, they're going to come for your ass like no other. 155 is I'm saying this. Please be careful with that. Not only to the new spiritual babies, as I like to call it, but even with some of the ones who've been in it for quite some time, especially you guys. 212 as I'm saying this. If you are one that's on that end that's doing this nonsense as well, you should be ashamed of yourself. You know better. 222 as I'm saying this. There's no amount of money in the world that should put an individual in a predicament where they are willing, 2, 3, 4 as I'm saying this, put them in a predicament where you are doing this type of task just because of $1 or $2. And you know at the end of it all, you're gonna end up losing your gifts anyhow. So you'd rather go through all that, lose your gifts, not only that, but then deal with the kickback in regards to them being returned to you times 10, if not more, because you know within self that that's what's gonna happen. So you're willing to take that chance for $1 or $2? Really? Are times really that hard where you have to succumb to doing something like that towards an individual? 3, 2, 1 as I'm saying this. Is it really that difficult? Something to think about. Thoughts become things. And if you truly believe that, 3, 3, 3 as I'm saying this, if you do believe that, it's bound to happen. You have to be careful with your thoughts as well as what you spew out of your mouth. 3, 4, 5 as I'm saying. Because again, everything is infinite. We have to start taking this shit seriously. 4, if you don't. 3, 5, 7. It's going to continue to happen. You're going to end up getting the brunt of a lot of this mess being returned to you because of you chasing $1 or $2. That's all for this quick video, you guys. It's not really a quick video, but I felt like something was nudging me to say that. I don't know why I feel like I'm going to say something else. I feel like I'm missing something else. If it comes to me, I'll make sure to post it in another video. But I feel like I'm missing something. So we're going to end it here. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I like to welcome the newcomers to my page here. Just know that I do see you and I do appreciate you. For those of you who are not aware, I'm actually in the field house when it pertains to keynote speaking as well as motivational speaking. So let's say you are part of an organization and you do have an event that you'd like for me to come and partake with you all. Do not hesitate to have someone from the head of your organization to reach out to me. You can then go over the appropriate details from there and move forward accordingly. That was a bit of a mouthful, but I want to make sure I got that information out to you guys. As always, I'm definitely sending you off with love and light, and I will see you in the next video. Be blessed, you guys.